Hey everybody, welcome to 2.1 two-variable word problem. So in this section we've been solving equations by graphing and substitution. So rather than just give you pure numbers, I'm just going to give you some word problems and you make the equations and then solve. So to start off with example 1, Mr. and Mrs. Olivares attended a Longhorns game over the weekend. Mr. O bought 4 hot dogs and 2 sodas for a total of $20. Mrs. O bought 2 hot dogs and 3 sodas for a total of $18. How much did each hot dog and soda cost? So right there, that last sentence right there tells you what your variables are. It's asking how much a hot dog costs and how much a soda costs. So in my setup, that's what I'm going to write. And I like to always use X and Y for my variables. A lot of times people think hot dog H, soda S. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just like to stay consistent with X and Y since that's what we use most often. So I put cost of hot dog for the X variable and cost of soda for the Y variable just because it mentioned the hot dog first. I mean, that's really the only reason why I chose that to be X and the other one to be Y. Now, since they each bought their own combination of hot dogs and sodas, you're going to have 2 equations. You're going to have an equation for Mr. O. He bought 4 hot dogs and 2 sodas. So I can say 4x plus 2y equals, how much did he spend on those? He spent 20 bucks. So 20. And then Mrs. O bought 2 hot dogs and 3 sodas for $18. So 2 hot dogs plus 3 sodas, y, equals 18. All right? So I have my 2 equations. Since I said asked for you to solve it by graphing, then I need to get both equations into y equals form. So I'm going to rewrite this top one, and then I'm going to solve it for y. So 4x plus 2y equals 20. All right, so if I'm solving it for y, that means I have to add or subtract the x term to the other side, and so I'll subtract it because it was a positive 4x. And so I get 2y equals, and then I like to write the x part first, so negative 4x plus 20. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. Always separate a number and a letter by dividing. And there, just trying to erase that little dot by the 2. So let's see here. Dividing everything by 2 gets me y equals negative 2x plus 10. All right? So how we interpret that is we have a y-intercept of 10, and that means you start there on the y-axis. And then you have a slope of negative 2 over 1, all right? So remember, your slope is your rise over your run, meaning I'll rise down 2, so I'll go down 2, and then I'll run, or I'll move over to the right 1. So let's do that right now. I'll start at 10 and go down 2 over 1. So 10 is it the arrow or is it this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, this is 10. And then I'll go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And you can just keep doing this until you've plotted it all the way down, or at least enough to draw a good solid line. Okay, so I got a few more points plotted. And so now I am going to work with the other equation. So I'm going to work with the 2x plus 3y equals 18, and I'll just rewrite it here, 2x plus 3y equals 18. And I'll solve it this similar way. I have to add or subtract the x term to the other side. Since it was positive, I'll minus it. So that'll bring down 3y equals negative 2x plus 18. And then I will divide everything by 3. All right, so that gives me y equals negative 2x, negative 2/3 x. And then 18 divided by 3 is a 6. So that does not make the 8 look any better. It makes it look a lot worse. But I will start at 6, that's your y-intercept, and then my slope is negative 2 over 3, all right? So let's go to 6 and go down 2 over 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go down 2 over 3. Hey, look, they intersect right there. I'm just going to grab a couple more points. And draw my line. And so where they intersect is your answer. So it goes over 1, 2, 3 to the right and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4 is your answer. So I'll just write this down here. And so what does that mean? What does 3, 4 mean? We said X is cost of hot dog, Y is cost of soda. So you can say the hot dog costs $3 and the soda costs $4. That's a lot for a soda, but yeah, that's how you would interpret this number. So yeah, let's just move on to example 2. Karen makes $5 per hour babysitting and $12 per hour giving music lessons. One weekend she worked a total of 18 hours and made $139. How many hours did she spend babysitting? So the question's asking you how many hours did she spend babysitting. So you know that's going to be one of your variables, the hours babysitting. But she works 2 jobs. She also gives music lessons. So that would be your other variable. And again, since it says babysitting first, I'm going to make that my x variable, and music lesson second, I'll make that my y variable, and I'll write it right here in the setup. So here I have my variables defined. Let's go ahead and write our 2 equations. So Karen makes $5 per hour babysitting and $12 an hour giving music lessons. So one equation will say 5x plus 12y. If you have multiple dollar amounts, look for the rates, the dollar rate, and then look for the total. How much did she make? She made $139. So 5x plus 12y equals 139. So they all have the dollar sign in common, and they're generally, if you have 3 numbers with dollar signs, that they're generally going to go on the same line. So that just leaves the total of 18 hours, okay? That's the only thing we know. So X is hours babysitting, Y is hours giving music lessons. So if I add together the hours I gave music lessons and the hours I babysat, I'll get 18. So yeah, X babysitting, Y music lessons equals 18. So now we're going to solve by substitution, all right? So you got to get one of the variables equal to X or Y. I know that if I just subtract Y to the other side, I will get X equals 18 minus Y. And so I can use the X equals equation to substitute in for X right there into the first equation. So I'm going to write 5, instead of writing 5x, I'm going to write 5 parentheses 18 minus y plus 12 times y. I'm not substituting anything for y, equals 139. So now I can distribute the 5. So 5 times 18 is 90, and 5 times negative y is negative 5y. And I will just bring down everything else. That y looks kind of like an x. There we go. So plus 12y equals 139. So now I can combine like terms. And so I have 7y. So 90 minus 7y equals 139. So that means what I have to do now is subtract the 90 to the other side. And 139 minus 90 is going to be, what is that, 49? So I have negative 7y equals 49. I'm just realizing right now that I wrote negative 7y. I'm like, this doesn't look right. Negative 5y plus 12y is a positive 7y. So maybe you're watching this and you're like, what? How did you get -7? No, I was just goofing, and I just caught that right now. Yeah, so 12 minus 5 is 7. So positive 7y equals 49. My bad there. Glad I caught the mistake. So divide both sides by 7, and you're going to get y equals 7. So I know that y equals 7, and I know that x equals 18 minus y. So x equals 18 minus 7, so that's going to be 11. X equals 11. So you can rewrite it as a coordinate 11 comma 7, but the question itself was asking how many hours did she spend babysitting, and that's just the x variable. So she babysat for 11 hours. You might want to just write a sentence that says that. So there, she babysat for 11 hours. That tells me I understand, as a teacher, that tells me that you understand what the variables mean. And so, yeah, I think that's all I can really say about that. Let's do the last example here. You have 100 coins worth $6.95. All the coins are nickels and dimes. How many nickels and how many dimes do you have? So the question said it right there. Your variables are going to be nickels and dimes. So let x be the number of nickels and y be the number of dimes. And again, I just chose to put nickels for x and dimes for y because the nickels came first in the word problem, the way it was worded. So we got two equations, and we only have two numbers. You have 100 coins and $6.95 is the value. So how much is a nickel worth? A nickel is worth 5 cents. So I'm going to put 0.05x. A dime is worth 10 cents, so that's 0.10y. And then it's worth $6.95. So I wasn't explicitly told all the dollar amounts, but you do know the dollar amount of a nickel and a dime. All right, so that was the tricky part there. And then it says you have a total of 100 coins. If it says that, you can just do x plus y equals 100. So at this point, you need to solve for one of the variables. If you have an x plus y equation, I'm just going to minus y to the other side. And so I get x equals 100 minus y. And I'm good to plug that in for x into the other equation. So 0.05 times 100 minus y plus 0.1y. 0.1 is the same thing as 0.10 equals 6.95. So now I'll distribute. So I'll get 500. Sorry, not 500. You get 5. I was thinking 5 times 100 is 500, but you got 0.05 times 100. So that just tells you 5 minus 0.05y plus 0.1y equals 6.95. So here I can combine like terms, and this will make a positive 0.05y. And then I can also subtract 5 to the other side. And so I get 0.05y equals $6.95 minus $5 is $1.95. And so you're gonna do 1.95 divided by 0.05. All right, and then we're gonna get the number of dimes, and that number is 39. So y equals 39 dimes. All right, so if you know y equals 39 and you know x equals 100 minus y, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to plug it into that. So x equals 100 minus 39, and that's 61. So you can say x equals 61 nickels. And so with that, that's going to draw a close to these notes. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. And I guess it couldn't be bad practice just to rewrite your answer as 61, 39. I guess I should add that because I want to be consistent. So yeah, bye for real this time.